It's my pleasure to introduce your 2024-2025 Fundraising Council Chair, Wanda Price.
Good evening. I'm Wanda Price, your 2024-2025 Fundraising Council Chair. On behalf of the Fundraising Council and Donor Relations Task Force, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our webinar tonight entitled The Power of Planned Giving, Leave a Legacy for Women and Girls. No matter where you are in the process of considering your estate plans, my hope is that you will leave this webinar tonight feeling empowered to make informed decisions that support your philanthropic intentions and impact that you would like to make now and in the future. You'll hear from our expert, Lisa Detweiler, on some of the basics of estate planning, as well as ways to include Seroptimus in your will or trust. You'll also hear from Laura Pauly, who will share a bit about why she's chosen to include Seroptimus in her future plans and join the Laurel legacy. At any point during our time tonight, please submit your questions using the Zoom Q&A feature. You can find it at the bottom of your screen. I'll now turn it over to Seroptimus Director of Donor Relations, Erica Cheslock.
Thank you, Wanda, and thank you all so much for joining us today. You saw a couple icebreaker questions on the screen as our program was starting, so we're going to go to the chat and look at some of your answers. The questions were, what are you most looking forward to in 2025? And have you considered planned giving as part of your philanthropic planning? We'll give you a minute or so to continue to put your responses into the chat, and then we'll go through some of those. One that I saw was someone is looking forward to family celebrations, Sylvia Crafton. Thank you, Sylvia. Tracy Scala, looking forward to turning 60.
Oh, wow.
It's a milestone. Mary Len, glad to be here and learn more about this. Thank you, Mary Len. Let's see. Bobby Enderlin, I'm working on updating my trust and want to learn what the various options are. Thanks, Bobby. Hi, LaShonda. Let's see, look at a few more responses here. President-elect Sue Riney, looking forward to hearing the impact of all the Uplift Her projects taking place, one of our exciting new initiatives. Sarah Hudson, I'm looking forward to promoting Seroptimus to our community. Marie Kennedy, growing as a Seroptimist and helping Seroptimus grow as a region fundraising chair and member of the Donor Relations Task Force. Thanks, Marie. Take a couple more. Michelle, ditto to what Bobby wrote about trust update. Looking forward to my first year of retirement. Started January 1st. Congratulations. Hopeful for a new fundraiser in my club. Kathy McCullough, I've included SIA in my will and trust, and as region fundraising chair, I'm trying to encourage others to do the same. Thank you so much for that. Okay. So thank you so much for your responses. I am happy to introduce our first speaker for tonight, Lisa Detweiler. Lisa is the president of Generate Philanthropic Services, LLC, a fundraising consulting firm focused on coaching, training, and assisting nonprofits to create and implement a balanced fundraising program. She holds an MBA from St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia, the Chartered Advisor in Philanthropy designation from the American College of Financial Services, and maintains her certified fundraising executive credential. Lisa, I will now turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Erica. It's great to be here. I'm really honored to present tonight and to be here with all of you. And from some of those responses, I don't know, I feel like my work's done already. But we will proceed. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second to get it going. Here we go. All right. And so we are talking tonight about your plan and the future of the people that Seroptimus serves. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on. Throughout my career, I have worked with many, many organizations and many, many individuals to make sure that their financial resources are established in a way that will help them move it forward philanthropically in a way that is pleasing to them and pleasing to the organization. So I'm happy to share some of what I know with all of you tonight. This is going to be a very high level presentation. We only have a half an hour, so if we need to get more into the weeds, you can reach out to Erica, and I'm happy to talk with anybody else offline a little bit more in depth. But tonight's going to be a little high level. So let's look at what we're going to be talking about here. Our agenda is we're going to give a definition to what estate planning is. We're going to talk about why estate planning matters. We're going to get into charitable giving through your estate plan. How do you do it? What might that look like? And then how to include Seroptimus International of the Americas in your estate plan. I'd like to cover some of that as well. We're going to begin tonight with as we say here, what is estate planning? A very simple definition of estate planning. It is accumulating, preserving, and distributing your wealth. All right, that's really a simple way to look at it. But the word estate planning can sound really complicated, and it almost sounds like something that you do when you're at death's doorstep, and it is not. This is something that you should be doing all along throughout your life, throughout your career. It's an activity that is creating a roadmap for taking care of all of what you have accumulated during your lifetime. And this roadmap that you're creating through your estate plan is going to be one that'll give you peace of mind, that you know what's going to happen with your assets, and it's going to provide your family with the guidance that they need after your lifetime. So to begin, you have to take a look at all of your assets. What does that look like? Your investments, and these are things that you actually write down. You sit down and take stock of what you've accumulated. Your investments, perhaps your retirement plans, an IRA, what does that look like? Your property, your homes, your vacation homes, business property, checking and savings accounts. Believe it or not, that is part of your assets, and you need to account for those as well. Insurance plans and other personal effects. This is just a very short list. So you take a look at all of these, and your objective is, in establishing the estate plan, is to determine the goals for your accumulated wealth. So you've made a list, you have taken some time to do that, and now you have to figure out what you want to do with this list. So that's the first step. And then think about who and how and when you want these assets distributed. All right, this is a process. It's a very thoughtful process. Now, tonight's conversation is about giving and planned giving. So I wanted to include for your consideration some other ways of giving, though, that are available to you right now. These aren't necessarily charitable giving, but I want to consider giving during your lifetime as part of your estate plan, and also considering gifting through your estate plan for legacy giving. keep in mind two other ways that you can give during your lifetime. The IRS allows you to give away up to $19,000 per person to as many people as you want a year without any gift tax consequences. So a family member comes to you and is in need of a gift or in need of some money, you can actually gift them up to $19,000 and it will not carry gift tax consequences. And then overall, throughout your lifetime, you can give away $13.99 million before you get a gift tax. So I know there's probably many people in here in that situation, but just wanted you to keep that in mind, that there is a very high ceiling for you to make gifts during your lifetime, not necessarily all charitable, but good for you to keep that in mind and to know that that exists. All right, so let's move on to what happens if you do not have an estate plan. All right. First of all, your assets are going to be distributed according to the laws of the state in which you live. So if you die without a will today or without any plan, the state is going to, your assets will go into probate and the state will decide how they'll be distributed. They'll probably assign someone to represent your estate and they'll make all the decisions. You'll lose control over how you want the assets to be distributed. And you will not have the opportunity to make any philanthropic gifts past your lifetime. So suffice it to say that if you do not have an estate plan there is no roadmap, the state is going to decide how it will be distributed. And that's really just no fun for you or for anyone. All right. Okay, so this unfortunately has happened. I know you'll find that hard to believe, but yes, it has happened that people die without a will. And here are some really famous and perhaps very wealthy people to whom you would think they were smart enough to have had a will. But like Aretha Franklin, let's face it, she's 76 years old when she passed away, singer, songwriter, pianist. She died without a will when she passed away in 2018. And she left behind an estate that was worth $80 million. Her family had nothing but headaches around settling that estate. Amy Winehouse. Now she's 27, okay? British singer, songwriter. She's 27 years old. And a lot of 27-year-olds do not anticipate that they're going to pass away, so they don't have a will, right? But she died without a will in 2011. Her estate was worth $4.6 million. And eventually the state decided to award her assets to her parents, and her husband at the time had to fight to receive anything. And he ended up with only $320,000 from that estate. How about Chief Justice Warren Burger, 87-year-old head of our country, right? Can you believe it? Now you'd think he'd know better than to have a proper will, but he died in 95 he had a will, but it was inadequate and it didn't account for taxes. And it didn't empower his executors to do the right thing. So his $18 million estate lost an awful lot to probate and taxes. Unnecessary. And then Howard Hughes. Okay, again, somebody you'd think was super smart and would understand. He died in 76 without a will. And his estate was worth $2.8 billion. It took 7 years for it to settle, and it was spread out among 22 cousins. Now, these people, you're going to say, all right, well, they're rich, they're famous. Doesn't often happen, but I'm going to tell you, in my experience and over the time in which I was in my career and spent a lot of time with individuals in this, with their wills and their estate plans, a lot of people die without a will, and the families have a nightmare on their hands. And I have seen more families torn apart with conflict amongst themselves. And it would not have had to happen had there been a will in place. So my strong suggestion is that we get a will. All right, you prepare a will. It's not hard to do. Wills serve as this primary guide for your families once you pass away. They state what you want to, who you want to receive what and when. And they can be really simple. Like you have money and family heirlooms and property, and if you haven't accounted for them in a way that you would like, they're going to just be divided in thirds or divided amongst however many people there are that the state indicates should get those assets. So a will can be very simple and really easy to do. In fact, there's lots of resources online where you can create your will online and then just go get it notarized. That would make it a valid will. Or you may have some real specific things you want to accomplish in your will that are much more complicated. And then I highly suggest that you get an estate attorney to help you out with your will. If you do that, because I've seen this also, I would spend some time sitting down at your table and really mapping out what you want to have happen with your assets before you go to the attorney so that you don't use valuable dollars of your own brainstorming with an attorney. All right, that's not a good use of the attorney's time, but they're happy to have you pay them for it. Guarantee it. All right, so wills overall offer you the opportunity for you to direct your assets not only to your family, but also to organizations like the Seroptimists. So you would list them as someone who you would like to receive something in your will. Now, let's talk about the idea of planned giving. And the one thing I will say, just from the icebreakers that I heard, it sounds like there's a number of people out there that really do have wills. So I applaud you all for having noted that you have a will. And for those of you that do not yet, might be time to think about it. All right. All right, let's take a look now at the idea of giving and how we do this. Planned giving. So when you hear the term planned giving, sometimes it sounds like it's a really complicated term and you can't get your head around it. You don't know really what that means. Planned giving is charitable giving, but it is a way for you to take what you do during your lifetime and extend it to past your lifetime. You can be thoughtful about how you want your assets spread to charities after your lifetime. They can become a really good planning part of your financial or your estate plans. Whoever helps you put together your estate plans will help you establish a tool or a method within your estate plans that will account for your gifts to charity. And there's lots of benefits to doing this. Planned giving is also not just for those with a lot of assets. Anybody can make a planned gift. Anybody can name a charity in their will. Anybody can name a charity as a beneficiary on an asset. So it doesn't take someone with millions of dollars to create a planned gift. I want you to keep that in mind. I wanted to take a short look at the comparison to giving now during your lifetime and then giving after your lifetime. And I put these side by side. So giving during your lifetime allows you, obviously, to support the charities that you love and care about. And you do this with things like your annual gifts. You get the letters in the mail, you do Giving Tuesday, whatever those campaigns are, you're making gifts during your lifetime. If you have a capital campaign come along, you might make a larger gift to that capital campaign to the charity that you love. It provides you with charitable tax deductions, so it's great for your taxes on an annual basis. And if you donate stock or other appreciated assets, you can avoid capital gains. All right, so giving during your lifetime has lots of great benefits. Planned giving, I really like to use the word legacy giving or gift planning because you are planning that gift. Again, it is going to support the charity that you love, but it's you sitting down and thoughtfully thinking about how can I, through my estate plans, set this up for the future of the organization. Now, there's lots of different methods of gift planning. I'm not going to go into them all tonight. There's way too many of them, but the benefits of some of them are you can avoid capital gains tax. You can remove assets from your estate. So those assets might go to a charity and that would reduce your estate taxation. There's actually a method where you can receive an income during your lifetime from a planned gift and then have the balance of that gift go to the charity afterwards. And you can also pass on assets to a family member that will reduce the tax and the cost of that benefit, of that gift. So there's lots of great things about giving now and giving later. I also want to take a look at the big picture of giving and give you an understanding about where all this fits in. So here is a really good pie chart to look at. Giving USA is an organization that does a survey every year of all the giving that takes place across the United States. And for 2023, they did their survey results showed that $557 billion, $16 million was given to charity across the United States. Now that is a heap of giving, right? That's really nice to see. And frankly, these dollars tend to go up every year. If you look at this pie chart, though, the thing I want to call your attention to is that 67% of that giving came from individuals like you and like me. That's a really important thing to see. And 8% of that came from bequests. And who gives bequests? Oh, that's people like you and me. So if you total those together, 75% of all giving comes from individuals. Now, another fact that's really important to this group here tonight is that the Bank of America did a survey also and 22, and they discovered that 33% of the world's wealth is held by women. All right. All right, that's really good news for us. So all of you here tonight have the opportunity to thoughtfully care for your portion of the world's wealth. And you have an amazing opportunity to participate in charitable giving and to support the future of organizations like Seroptimus through good estate planning. All right, so great opportunity for you here tonight. All right, let's now take a look at what some of these methods might be in terms of planned giving for you to think about tonight. How could you do a planned gift and what might that look like? All right, charitable gifts through estate planning come in, I'm telling you, many more ways than we have time to cover tonight. But here are some that I want you to think about. Bequests. So we just talked about giving through your will. That is bequest giving. All right. Giving through your individual retirement account or your IRA. All right. We're going to talk about that one. Donor advised funds, an important giving vehicle. Life insurance. Charitable trusts and annuities. And I heard several people, Erica respond to several people who apparently have trusts. We're not talking about trusts tonight. That is a little bit too deep for this session, but good to hear that you have them. And endowments and many other options. I mean, if there is a way to make a planned gift, it's out there. There's lots of different methods and there's lots of variations on it. So there is a way, if you want to do it, to have that happen for you. All right, so we're going to start a little bit more on wills because this is probably the one vehicle that is the easiest for all of you to do and that has a very large impact on giving, as you saw from that pie chart. All right, I spoke briefly about it before, and in a will, you can do a number of things to make a gift to an organization. You can designate a percentage of your estate or a specific amount, or you can say, after all of my taxes and after all of my family and people who I want to have things, receive all of that, whatever remains in that estate, I want the remainder of it to go to the organization. So there's so many other ways that you can do this within a will. Here is some sample wording that I believe lives on the website for the Soroptimist International here. But this is some sample wording. Let me just walk through it a little bit. And you can take this sample wording with you to your attorney and say, here's what I would like to do in my will. So a residual bequest would say that I give and devise Soroptimist International of the Americas a percentage of the rest or the residue of the remainder of my estate. All right, so that's a percentage. Or the middle one, which is a specific bequest, you can say, I want a specific dollar amount to be used for unrestricted general purposes, or you can have it set up an endowment, whatever it is that you would like that to become for the organization. Or a contingent bequest would basically say, all right, I would like to have this amount of money go to the organization when I pass away, but if for some reason the taxes have cost too much and that amount of money is not available and a smaller amount of money is available, then a percentage of that I want to go to the organization. And this is just some sample language. Attorneys, estate attorneys who do this are extraordinarily familiar with this, and they'd be happy to help you out with other things that you would like to accomplish with giving to an organization. All right. All right, so here is yet another way to give. I mentioned donor advised funds, and I don't know how many people out there have a donor advised fund, but if you do have one, please let the organization know that you do. It's always helpful for us to understand how to, where might be good resources for you to give. For those of you who are not familiar with a donor advised fund, let me explain it a little bit. I usually like to explain it this way. Let's just say it's December of a particular year, and your accountant calls you on the phone and says, you may have a tax problem this year unless you give away some money. All right. And he says, like, maybe you need to give away $10,000 before the end of the year. And let's just say it's December the 15th. And you are a very thoughtful donor. And you don't want to rush into decision making about who you're giving to or how much you're giving. So you decide, I've heard of donor advised funds, and you can take the $10,000 from your accounts, however your finance guy or gal has told you to do it, and you can put it into a donor advised fund. And that is a charitable gift into the fund. You cannot take that money back. You will get a charitable deduction for the amount that you put into the donor advised fund. Then you have time come the next year to thoughtfully think about who you would like to distribute that $10,000 to. It can be to one organization or it can be to numerous organizations, but you get to take your time. At the end of your lifetime, you can indicate on that donor advised fund that you would like the balance of whatever is left in there to go to an organization, to go to Soroptimists. So it's a lovely vehicle. It's very simple to do. You can add more money into the donor advised fund over time. I know that some places allow you to set up a donor advised fund for as little as $500. And I don't believe there's a maximum you can put into it. So it's a great vehicle for thoughtful donors. And it's a great way to get a nice sized charitable deduction in the year that you set that donor advised fund up, or in the year that you add more money to it. So think about a donor advised fund as an option. Giving through your individual retirement account. So individual retirement accounts, these are qualified retirement accounts, and you would hear them as a 401k or a 403b. Those terms might be familiar to you, and many people contribute to those when they're working through their workplace. And oftentimes, the organization for whom you work will add a percentage into your IRA as well. So these IRAs are set up so that you don't pay taxes on the money when it goes in. It goes in pre-tax. All right. And that money starts out. I remember when I started my IRA, it started out tiny. And over the course of my career, it grew and it grew. I was putting in money, my employer was putting in money, and the government knows, and they allowed us to grow tax-free right up until a certain point. All right. And then they said it used to be excuse me, at age 70 and a half, you are going to now have to start taking that money out. And that is called your required minimum distribution, or RMD. It used to be 70 and a half age that you had to do that. Now it is about 73. I believe it's age 73 they've moved it forward. Because Uncle Sam wants his tax money. They want their tax money. And so they're not going to let you have that money in there indefinitely. Now, back in quite a while ago, there was an act that was put out there by the government called the Pension Protection Act, and that was way back, I believe, in 2006. And they allowed people like you and I to make gifts to charities directly from the IRA to the charity. All right. And you would not receive a charitable deduction for that on your taxes because you didn't pay taxes in the first place. But you also don't have to receive it as income and potentially push you up into a higher tax bracket. So by making gifts from your IRA to a charity, you can avoid having extra income that you don't necessarily want, and you can make a lovely gift to the charity, and the charity does not pay tax on that either. So today, you're allowed to donate up to $108,000 from your IRA. So let's just say you want to do 10,000 to one organization, 50,000 here, or all $108,000 from your IRA because you don't need the income. You can donate it all to Seroptimus. That would be great on an annual basis. Or you can donate to as many charities as you want to, up to the 108. It has to go directly from your IRA to the charity. If it comes to you first, you pay taxes on it, all right? It's a wonderful strategy if you do not need your required minimum distribution. And that is true for some people that, you have enough income with Social Security, you have enough income perhaps with another pension or from dividends from stocks. You may have enough income and you don't want that other income, but you're being required to take it. So this is a really nice way for you to avoid taking it and make a gift at the same time. All right, so gifts through your IRA are a lovely way to do that. Now, I've gone over just a few of the wide variety of options that are out there for you to make gifts in terms of estate planning and gift planning. Somebody mentioned trusts tonight, and establishing a trust can be done with an attorney or directly at a bank. You can go to a bank, and through a trust, you can actually name many charities to receive income from your trust, or you can name just one. That's a terrific way, but we're not going to get too much in the weeds with trusts tonight. So the bottom line with all of this that I want you to consider for tonight is that you can't take your wealth with you, all right? It's really important for you to sit down and get that roadmap put together. What do you want to do with it? Who do you want to have receive all that you've spent your lifetime accumulating? And most likely you don't want the state in which you live to be the decision maker on that one. I'm guessing that you would like to have your own roadmap for that. So take time to create an estate plan and to indicate how you want your lifetime of accumulated wealth to be distributed. Take some good time. Keep in mind that there are many ways to include the Seroptimus International and other charities in your estate plans. I just mentioned basically wills and a donor advised fund and your IRA as options. I will also mention, like if you have an insurance plan that you no longer need, that was covering the lives of your children when they were young and now they're all grown, you can actually donate that insurance policy to Soroptimists and make them the owner and beneficiary, and they'll receive those assets. Insurance plans are another lovely way to do this. So remember the Soroptimist International as you are creating your plans and looking at these various ways to do it. So the next page I'm going to show you might look a little overwhelming. I don't want you to be overwhelmed with it, and you're going to receive this later. Eric, I believe you're going to be sending this out to people. So the next slide I'm going to show you is a chart of numerous types of planned giving vehicles, and it shows the benefits of each one. So here it is. All right. Here is this chart. And if you take a look at this, and you can take time on your own to read this through, it shows the gift type down the left-hand side, a bequest, your individual retirement. We did not get into charitable gift annuities or trusts or lead trusts or endowments. These are for conversations maybe for Erica or, a little later, but the goal of that vehicle, how each one of these vehicles works basically, and then the benefits to you with each of these. Okay, so this concludes my overview. I know Erica has some more to do tonight, so I'm going to turn this back to Erica. I believe you have a presentation to do.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for that great presentation. And before we do our Q&A time, I just wanted to comment on a couple things, and we have someone else who's going to share. I particularly liked hearing about the need for a will and that it's never too early to be thinking about it. That's one of my personal takeaways. So thank you so much for that. It's now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Laura Polly. Laura has been a proud Soroptimist member for 39 years, and she currently serves as District 4 Director in Golden West Region. Her past leadership roles include Club President, Live Your Dream Awards Chair, Region Program Chair, Dream It Be It Chair. And in addition to her work at Soroptimist, Laura currently serves as Board President for Saddlebrook Community Outreach. And the mission of Saddlebrook is to provide opportunities for kids to succeed. So we're going to hear from Laura. Alyssa, I don't hear any sound on that.
Oh, sorry, one second. Erica, I might need your help with this one, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, my computer's being a little fussy with the sound, so if you wouldn't mind.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, also sound not playing. So if you stop sharing your screen and then when you click share, check the box that says share sound. That's what was giving me problems.
Yeah, Alyssa, it's not allowing me to select that box.
Unbelievable. How fussy. All right, let me try another tricky way. Thanks everybody for your patience. There we go. Let's try this. How's that?
No, nothing.
No sound still? Interesting.
Well, do we want to jump to Q&A and then see if we can get that going at the end? How about we do that?
Wonderful.
We'll get started on some of these questions. So we have a question from Charlie Rogers. In the pie chart of who makes charitable gifts, where are donor advised funds counted?
I believe they are counted in with individuals,
Okay, individual giving.
but I can look that up too if you want to know for sure.
Great, thank you. And Carol Felici asks, can I give funds from IRA to family member without incurring any penalties or tax problems during my lifetime?
That would be no. It's not a charity. Family members aren't charity. They may think they are, but no.
Tracy Scala, are there annual admin fees for donor advised funds?
Annual what?
Admin fees, administrative fees?
I would believe there are some for sure, because it's an investment. So you're going to get some investment fees as you would with
Okay, great,
other
thank you.
investments.
Bobby Enderlin, can you put your annual required minimum distribution into a donor advised funds?
Ooh, there's a good question. Can I get back to you on that one?
Yeah, we can look that up and get back to you, Bobby.
I'm thinking the answer is yes, but I don't know for sure. I'm not sure. That's a super good question.
Okay. Michelle Chambers, looks like a comment. I think the IRS requires that the IRA be spent down within 10 years. Can we deny or confirm that?
So, inherited IRAs, I will tell you, I received an inherited IRA when my parents passed away, and yes, that has to be spent down within 10 years. That is not so if a child and if you pass on an IRA assets, if you pass on that assets to one of your kids, they will have to spend it down within 10 years.
Great, thank you. Michelle also asked, can the RMDs be deposited directly? Oh, yeah, that was Bobby's question too, donor advised fund. So we're
Into a
going to
donor
look.
advised fund. I'm going to get back to you on that one. Need to check.
Okay. Tracy, do required minimum distributions of IRAs work the same for traditional and Roth IRAs?
No, Roth IRAs our golden child. It's the golden child. And if you can set up a Roth IRA, I would recommend doing it because you don't have to take the required minimum distribution out of a Roth. You've already paid your taxes on that going in. All right. So the government is going to ask you to pay taxes either going in or coming out. Just think of it in those terms. All right. So with a traditional IRA, you did not pay taxes going in. So they are tapping their fingers on the table saying, when am I going to get my tax money? Right. No, but because a Roth IRA, you paid your taxes going in. They're like, I don't care. Keep it in there. Right. So you don't have the RMD on Roth IRAs. They can just grow and grow, and those are wonderful assets to pass on to family members.
Okay, Bonnie Mendenhall, will Lisa's slides be available later? I know at least some of them will. We're going to send over that chart. Did you want to make your slides available with our follow-up?
You know what? What I'll do is I'll pare it down for you into the ones that might be important because I don't think they're all that,
Great.
some of them are just more pictures.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And then we have Sue Riney. Thanks for the overview, Lisa. My apologies if you shared this in your information and I missed it, but I'm assuming it is typically more beneficial to make a tax-free donation directly from your IRA as a means to reduce income than to receive the itemized tax deduction for the donation. Is that correct?
I guess they're kind of two different ducks is what I'm going to say to that. So if I hear you correctly, you're saying it's better to take money from your IRA and make that gift. You get no charitable deduction if you make a gift from your IRA, all right? The only reason you get charitable deductions is because you've paid taxes on those dollars before, and the government allows you to take a charitable deduction on that. But because your IRA money has not yet been taxed, when you gift it over to a charity, you haven't paid any taxes on that yet. So the organization's not going to pay any taxes on it, but they're not going to let you take a charitable deduction on top of it. It's like they're not going to let you do that. So then if you make an outright gift, however, to a charity, of not counting your IRA, put your IRA aside, all right? If you just make a outright gift to an organization, you'll get a charitable deduction for that for sure. And if you use appreciated assets like appreciated stocks, that's a great way to do it because you can gift. Let's just say you have stocks that you purchased for $1 and they're now worth $10. All right. You take those, that's the appreciation. You take that stock and you say, I'm going to take 20 shares of this and gift it over. Those shares go directly to the organization. The organization does not have to pay capital gains or taxes on that when they sell it. You would have had to pay tax on the difference between $1 and $10 per share. That's called capital gains. All right. And when that goes to a charity, they do not have to pay tax on it, and neither do you. So using stock to make gifts is a wonderful way to make a larger gift probably than you could out of your checkbook. All right. We always think of writing checks in checkbooks as the way to give, right? That there are so many other ways, and using stocks to make gift is a lovely way. It's very beneficial to both you and the organization that you give to. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you. And it looks like Faye has the same question as Michelle and Bobby, which we will get back to you with a response about your RMD and the donor advised fund. So that's a popular topic.
Trying to think about that, whether they would allow that. I don't have the right answer, so I'm not going to assume.
Okay, that answers all of our questions that were put in the Q&A. So thank you for your questions. And we're going to go back to see if we can get Laura's presentation up.
I'm Laura Pauley. I became a Soroptimist in the SI Desert Tucson Club in 1985, and then moved to the Longmont, Colorado Club in 1988. After being transferred in 1991 to areas that had no Soroptimist clubs, I returned to Tucson and rejoined SI of Desert Tucson in 2017. As Erica noted, I'm currently the director for District 4 in the Golden West region. A couple of years ago, our financial advisor told my husband and I that we absolutely, positively had to create our estate plans right now. For him, it was a deal breaker. He said, "You're old enough. Come on, let's get it done." In the process of creating our estate plans, my husband and I chose our beneficiaries. In addition to close family members, we each have causes that are important to us. Mine are the Soroptimist Dream programs. Thinking back to my teen years, it would have been so very helpful to have the Dream It Be It career support program and the mentoring involvement of our wonderful Soroptimist members. And by the same token, gosh, I wish the Live Your Dream Awards had been around when I was in school. I put myself through college and graduate school with a lot of help from every form of financial aid available. I can personally attest to the value of post-secondary education and training. In my case, education truly is the key to a better life. With a post-secondary education, I broke out of 8 years in the pink-collar ghetto, low income, under the poverty level, and I broke into a 42-year career with IBM, which was very interesting and rewarding. It's the dream programs that are the reason why I became a Laurel Society member and a Laurel Legacy member. The Laurel Legacy program is a good option for me. It's a commitment to give from my estate. I don't have to worry about how much can I afford to give right now. After all, I might live to be 100. My great aunt, who was also a Soroptimist, lived to be 103. The Soroptimist Dream programs resonate with all of us. They provide a path to economic empowerment for girls and women. We have the power to help girls and women lead a better life. So let's use it. Thank you for your time and for considering the Laurel Legacy program.
Erica, I think I have an answer for the question.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like you can make a contribution of your RMD into a donor-advised fund, but it's counted as income for tax purposes, so you get taxed on that, even though you're making it into a donor-advised fund. But you may also take the charitable deduction. All right.
Thank
So
you
there
for
you go.
that. Thank you so much for that response. And I want to also thank Laura for sharing her inspiring story. I had the pleasure of working with Laura in preparation for our webinar tonight. And Laura, hearing about your passion for education and how it influenced your decision to become a Laurel Legacy member was really powerful. So I just want to thank everyone for their questions tonight. It looks like we may have gotten a few additional questions, which we will be sure to follow up with you separately to provide additional answers and support if we did not get to your question. And now I'm going to turn it over to Wanda to close us out.
Thank you, Erica. Lots of great information presented tonight. I'd like to thank you all for your time and attention tonight, especially our presenters, Lisa and Laura. I truly hope that you're going to be able to take a few nuggets of new information with you into 2025 as you consider your giving intentions. Please know that the Fundraising Council, Donor Relations Task Force members, and SIA staff are here for you. Should you have further questions about how to join Laurel Society or Laurel Legacy, please reach out to us at development@seroptimus.org. Additionally, thank you for all you do to further the Seroptimus mission. Have a good evening. Thank you.